Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you are. I want to do this faceless tutorial on how to win scholarships for African international students. I am doing this tutorial because I too am a student and it's really difficult to get scholarships because when you check, you realize that the conditions are so tight and most often you are always caught in between whereby you are unable to continue application or continue vouching for that scholarship because of one thing or the other. So this short video is to see how we as Africans can go about winning scholarships for ourselves, especially when it comes to international studies. So my name is Nkwain Sam and this is Nkwain Sam Center. We shall go to the introduction. Like I just explained, many Africans dream of studying abroad, but we face financial challenges. It's no news that back home things are difficult. It's no news that our parents are unable to sponsor us. It's no news that we are just struggling and we wish the best for ourselves, our children, our families, and our country. This presentation is just out to give us practical ways on how we can, win scholarships so that we get oriented and then we hit the job market or we get the business or we achieve our dreams. So the first thing is we need to understand the scholarship types here. There is what we call a merit-based scholarship, as you can see on this third slide of mine. A merit-based scholarship is awarded for academic or talent excellence in the sense that those of you who say you want to study something like music, for example, it presupposes that you scored a very good grade maybe in your senior high school or in the first degree, and you want to go ahead, so you apply for a scholarship or a talent. It could be somebody who is so good at electronics or who is so good at dancing or who is so good at mechanics. So I'm saying that if you are going in for a particular scholarship, you need to know the type. Okay, now need-based scholarship, these are for students with financial difficulties. Those are cases where you really want to study. You are probably not the best, but you don't have the money. That's another particular type of scholarship. And be informed that there are different agencies who are specialized in the particular types of scholarship. Then we have country-specific scholarship. These are the scholarships that target particular countries for particular reasons or particular nationalities. It could be a poor African country or a country where students hardly go abroad. There are many of them in Africa. So there are some agencies, donor agencies, that decide to put in a particular budget so that they can sponsor students or potential students from those different countries. And then we have university and government scholarships, of course. Even in my country, I'm a Cameroonian. My government do provide scholarships for excellence. People go to UK, USA, China, Russia and study there. We also have university scholarship. Some universities, they support you and grant you a scholarship. It could be full, it could be partial. All of these depend. Then we have private and NGO scholarship. Private scholarships, of course, these are scholarships where an individual can decide to sponsor you. It could be a friend, it could just be a family member or somebody who of goodwill. There are so many of them out there. We also have NGOs. NGOs are so many in Africa. Some of these NGOs do provide scholarships. So there are so many types of scholarships, but I'm just trying to focus on these particular ones. And I'm trying to come out with things like this so that you can know that scholarships are not just rampant, they are well targeted and there are types of them. So where do we find scholarships? That's on the next slide. We find scholarships on websites, for example, the embassy websites. We can Google, we can use ChatGPT, we can use other online platforms. At the end of this slide, you are going to have a lot of the sites which I've provided, but we have some like scholarship portal, study in Europe, and then we have university and financial aid offices. Even where you are as a university student, if you are in Africa, you can go to your administrative blog and try to ask, seek information. Read those notice boards. There's a lot of information there. Go to the library. Read information in the library. You are going to have some answers. So preparing a strong application. The truth is, there are many people who might win a scholarship, not really because they are the best, but because they could prepare a strong application. I have come to realize that strong application is very, very important. For example, a strong application should contain, of course, your academic records, which are excellent, your personal statement. Why do you want to have this scholarship? It's not something that is generic. It's something that is peculiar to you. You get a point. They could be, for example, if I'm a music student, I could say music has been my passion. I have worked in different countries in music, and I realize that I cannot go further because of lack of structural knowledge in music. So I want to study music. You need to tell your story. And for those who probably have no idea on how to tell their story, some of us are there to teach you. All you need to do is to reach out to us, and we'll organize Zoom sessions for you. Okay? Yeah, let's go ahead. So you need to have strong recommendation letters. If you are a student, a real student should have recommendation letters. If you are a musician, I keep saying musician because I'm one, you should obviously have managers who can write recommendations for you. If you are an employee, maybe you finish and you're working somewhere and you want to study, of course, your manager, your immediate supervisor should give you a recommendation letter. If it's a faith-based scholarship, then you have your pastors, your priests, and your religious leaders who can give you those recommendation letters. Yeah, and you should have what we call demonstrable experience, demonstrable leadership and community involvement. These are things that really push the donors to consider you, because scholarship is a favor which they are giving to you based on merit or depending on their choice, and they assume that you too will be so benevolent and you are going to give back to the community. This presupposes that you are somebody who is already involved in community activities, okay? And preparing a strong application or preparing a strong scholarship, application means that you too should tailor your application for that specific scholarship. So know that each scholarship has a particular way of applying a particular procedures, okay? So now, avoid common mistakes. Yeah, this is the fourth most important point. Some people miss their deadlines. Some people just, they go and submit, like I already said, generic applications. It really discredits you for real. Don't do that. If you don't know how to go about it, you could meet an expert to guide you. Some people ignore eligibility requirements. That is a grave error. If they say that you should be from Zimbabwe, it means that if you are from a different country, there's no point applying. You are just probably ruining your chances or making yourself notorious. If it's for those who are below maybe 30 years of age, there's no point applying. Please don't think that because you are desperate, then there must be a change of policy because of you. It doesn't work like that. Some people miss their documents. Their essays are just the worst. They ask you for a transcript, you forget it. They ask for a birth certificate, you don't give it. They ask for a passport, you don't give it. They ask for recommendation letters, you do not submit them. Those are grave errors, okay? And sometimes too, when you submit your application, you need to check your emails. You need to respond to correspondences, because most often than not, they will get back to you. So avoid some of these common mistakes. Avoid plagiarism. Avoid copying from people. Each person's story is unique. All right. So some of the tips: start early and plan ahead. We are in the year 2025, and if you really want a scholarship for 2026, that's next year, you should have started already. And then you need to join scholarship forums. There are so many of them: WhatsApp, Viber, Facebook groups. You need to also belong to your alumni groups, those of you who are probably alumni of institutions. Then you should go in for multiple scholarship opportunities. They are always there, okay? And try to be confident, authentic and confident, like I say. Yeah, while waiting, you should keep improving on your skills. Don't just say, okay, I've applied for one, then you are waiting. No. A scholarship application and a scholar is somebody who is, it's a continuous process. Yeah. For example, I will not stop doing music because I'm waiting for some scholarship or some results. I'll keep doing it. It should speak for itself when people see you. So before I conclude, I'm going to give us some websites. Like you have the MasterCard Foundation. There is a large-scale program which is aimed at sponsoring academically talented and disadvantaged African students. When we talk about disadvantaged African students, these are students who grow up in very poor backgrounds. These are students who probably they are orphans. There are a lot of many disadvantages. I should not be naming some of them. So this MasterCard Foundation could provide for your tuition, accommodation, books, and some stipends for your living expenses. Let's go to the next one, Aga Khan Foundation International Scholarship Program. They offer up to 50% grant, loan for outstanding students from developing countries, including many African countries. If you look critically, this one is for postgraduate studies and those who already have first degree. We have the DAAD, that's the German Academic Excellence Service. they are into for scholarships and funding for Africa. There's another one. I've really provided a lot of websites for you, and then we have the conclusion. So, like I say, winning a scholarship requires preparation, persistence, and strategy. I cannot overemphasize this, and it's not just at the face value like you see me putting it on this faceless presentation. There is a lot. So I would strongly advise that if you have been applying for a scholarship, or even if you have not been applying and you want to consider applying for a scholarship, sometimes you can meet experts to guide you, even those who have had scholarships before. It may cost you some time or it may cost you some money, but then it's really worth it, I bet you, because the gain and the time you are going to, the time frame which you use to achieve or to scale will be worth whatever expense you incur to achieve this knowledge. Like we say, knowledge is power and ignorance is quite expensive. Thank you for following this up. And once more, my name is Nkwine Sam from Nkwine Sam Center. Catch you in the next presentation. Bye.